All right, Benji.
Uh-huh.
I got a question for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
You ready to field this?
I'm ready.
It's a pop quiz, actually.
Okay.
What video in the last 3 months of yours has gotten the most views in the last 3 months?
Oh my God.
Without looking.
Without looking?
Without looking, if you had to guess.
I'd say me going to the US Chef Store, which is a restaurant, supply place, and it's got food and things. So, complete guess, I have no idea. You tell me.
Let me show you. So published in May, actually.
Okay, May.
Was when you went to the Chef Food Store.
Yeah.
And it is your #1 still.
Oh, crazy. In the last 3 months. You're saying it accrued in the last 3 months.
More views than any of your other videos. That Chef Food Store got 117,000 views.
Yes.
That was from May.
Yes.
Right, it was when you published that. So that's even before when you did things.
Yep.
And a couple of those have caught the algorithm.
By the way, I was just completely guessing. So maybe it shows that I maybe have noticed it.
Yes.
But if you're gonna ask me why did that one do well, well, get ready.
Make some coffee first.
Okay.
So here's what I know about your food channel. The background being that it used to be a utility, short form, kind of like 2 to 3 to maybe 5 to 7 minute range Food Network edited style video. In the last year, you've done a bunch of vlog style content, anywhere between like 3 to even sometimes 7 days a week, right? Here's what else I know. You started the food channel not necessarily, you started the vlog project not necessarily knowing what would catch, but doing like cooking videos. And I remember specifically that Sam Sulek was an inspiration because you saw him doing these shopping videos and you're like, I would love to get paid to shop. And so what happened was that you started shopping and those videos were doing pretty good. And then you started shopping at Costco and those videos started doing really good. Like it was kind of surprising. And then you're like, okay, well, this is like a new, I think you call it a pillar, right, for your channel. This is like a new pillar or like a topic for what I want to cover on Benji's food vlogs. This one is interesting because you're not shopping at Costco, but you still framed it as a Costco vlog in some ways because those videos get views. And I think that it got views because you're catching all those people who are on YouTube and watching all their Costco content. They go on, they're obsessed with Costco. They want to know every single deal. They want to know how to get the best deals at Costco. And then they see your video and they see your title and they say, better than Costco. What's this guy talking about? There's nothing better than Costco. And so then they click on the video. That's my theory about why this one is doing well. It has a lot to do with the framing. It has a lot to do with the topic and takeaway that you talk about. It has a lot to do with how you titled this video in particular. But I'm curious about what you think is making this video tick.
So there's 2 reasons why this vlog did really well. Number 1, it's the most important reason because it's a good video. It's interesting for my core audience that loves food, and there's a secret part of my core audience. Most of them probably were not chefs at a restaurant or cooks in the industry. They're just home cooks, but we want to learn from chefs.
Yes.
So going to a chef store is kind of interesting because you see what other chefs are buying for their kitchens, the kind of products they use. And of course, me being a first timer in this store, it was just generally interesting. Also, I was probably enthusiastic.
Oh, okay.
Normally I have the kids, so I wasn't unfocused. I'm not saying the kids are a bad thing. A lot of my core audience actually likes that I hang out with my kids. I'm a dad. But with this episode uniquely, I went there all by myself and I was just hanging out and I was just doing something. So from a core audience standpoint, who are home cooks that are curious about what they have at a chef store, because most of us home cooks, we didn't think to go there because we just think, oh, this is for people that own restaurants or actual cooks. No, it's open to everybody. That made it interesting, and credit to my editor, it was edited in a way that was entertaining. So number 1, and of course that title, the title being Costco related, saying better than Costco, intriguing, interesting enough to click, right? And then the thumbnail is really good, but there's actually a second reason that's even more important. With this video specifically, if you look at any channel on YouTube, especially if they're a professional, they do this full time, or they're just crushing and doing really well, there's always a viral video. You could say for me, this is kind of a viral video. Amount of views, okay? How many views?
It's at 230,000.
For me, that's
views.
really good. Okay,
Yes.
231,000.
And by the way, you look at this graph, it is still climbing. Like,
Yeah.
it literally is completely linear. So it's just on the algorithm right now.
This is what I'd say. When you see those videos that do really well, oftentimes go back in their library 1 week back. Sometimes it's 1 day back. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 weeks back. There's usually a precursor video to the viral video.
Interesting.
It rarely is just, there's a out of nowhere viral video. Sometimes there is, right? But sometimes there is a viral video on its own, and the real question is, what would that like follow-up video be if they followed it up? One of the, I'd say, rules of thumb when you have a hit is follow it up right away.
Yeah.
Okay. Good creators understand this. So, going back to my channel, what you'll find in my library a little bit before is a business Costco video where I'm holding up a 5-gallon bucket of Kikkoman.
I remember that one because I remember you going through the process and being super interested in why that thumbnail caught people's attention.
I was like, huh. Because when I saw that bucket of Kikkoman, it's this 5-gallon white bucket. It has a Kikkoman thing. I was like, hey, this is a perfect thumbnail. You don't have to add any text. And my Asian-centric audience go, oh, a big thing of Kikkoman. That video did really well. But this video has done better. Oh, let me see this. Wow.
I made, and this is you.
Oh, that's me?
I made it last time.
That looks just like me. Wow, thank you.
I'm not gonna lie, the portrait of you looks a little like it started out as a pumpkin and then got turned into.
Let's see, let's just assess this. Nope, that's how her face is always look.
It's just the orange, I think, and the Halloween.
Well, and then also this.
Oh,
too.
true,
Let's
yeah.
see this, you're like, okay. That business Costco video,
Yeah.
choosing that bucket frame to be my thumbnail was kind of a test.
Yes.
I kind of knew in my gut it would do well. I didn't know that video would do so well.
And it kind of popped off right away.
That one popped off right away, and I mean, that one's also got a lot of views, but the reason I bring it up is I learned something from that thumbnail because the click-through rate was really good. I was like, something about me holding up a big bucket of food, any kind of food, just like clicked.
Yes.
So when I went there and I saw a 25-pound bucket of peanut butter, I was like, I should just try it out. So the second reason why it did well, probably as important, maybe more important, because a lot of new creators don't understand this. Usually it's the lesson you learn from a previous video that popped off, or it's a video that pops off that you follow up on.
Yes.
That thumbnail was close enough to where actually the title didn't even matter.
Yeah.
People were clicking on the business Costco one with me holding up the bucket, and that video being good enough, or maybe really good, when that other video, the chef store one, and then even the fact that it was related to Costco, better than Costco, they're like, yeah, you know, I remember that last video like this, did well. I enjoyed it. So kind of a theory, because I don't know why every person watched it, but it's a sound theory because it's happened not only for me, but other creators. I knew that it would do well. And so I would have never held up that 25-pound bucket of peanut butter and put 25 LB.
Yeah.
Is it LBS? I think I accidentally put
LB,
LBS.
yeah. No, it's LB.
LB,
35
right?
actually.
35 pounds.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, the same feeling that people got when they saw a 5-gallon bucket of soy sauce, they'd be like, 35 pounds of peanut butter. Well, oh, I want to see.
Think about it from the platform perspective, right? And from the user perspective, which is what I love about what you're saying here, is that number one, this video topically, it's just a little, it's like a gold mine for your audience in some ways and the people that you reached before with that other video for a couple of reasons. First of all, in the previous video, you were reaching your core audience, the people who watch you basically no matter what, and they will click on almost every one of your videos. They probably have you subscribed, have your notifications on, but also topically, you know that there's a lot of people who are Asian American or Asians abroad that are watching your content.
Or people into Asian food.
Or people into Asian food who are watching that and are intrigued by that piece of thing. And so that insight and that test that you ran was a huge precursor to this. Now, what's even crazier about this is that
this is peanut butter.
Exactly.
It's not Asian.
That it's peanut butter, right? And so what that tells me, but this is just my guess too, from a platform perspective, is think about the people who were not your core audience, but that because that first video saw it, but because of that first video, got to see it because it popped off, right? They maybe are not your core audience. They're beyond it. They're maybe not watching as long. They're kind of experimenting, seeing who you are and whether they want to watch. Now, the people who did watch it and were interested in it and are interested in Costco, well, guess what? The next time around, they're gonna go to YouTube, or maybe they'll click on a suggested video, and they're gonna see more Costco content, and YouTube will want to suggest them more Costco content. But what do? You come along, and first of all, it's even better for YouTube when it's Costco content that you publish, because YouTube already knows that they like you.
Yes.
But what's even crazier about this one is that you take that expectation and you twist it a little bit. You say, this is unique, nobody else is covering this.
It's novel. It's new.
And it's informative.
It's different, but it still entertains the same crowd that would be into the Costco content. That was another deeper level. Is the suggestion of the algorithm.
Exactly.
The algorithm knew, hey, this was kind of interesting. The algorithm, I don't think, is smart enough to know this isn't Costco he's shopping.
Yeah, no, exactly.
They just see Costco in the title, the algorithm, okay?
Yes.
People understand.
Yes.
And then also, I probably mentioned Costco in the video, so it's picking up the audio and it's transcribing it.
But even more simple than that, what do we always say about the algorithm? It's a reflection of the audience. And so if the audience is watching it and they're clicking, it doesn't even matter.
But it's both sides.
It is
Initially,
both sides.
it's triggering the algorithm like, hey, this is a video that my audience will like because they know based off of the day. This is why the product people at YouTube say even though tags are kind of hidden, for a new channel, you should still use it. Which means, guess what? Even for an established channel, still worth using.
Same idea.
It's like more communication. See, you know what's funny? Well, like, describe it, friends. You and I, we kind of know how each other thinks because we've worked together. We've known each other for over a decade, okay? We do it. But if we were friends for the first time today, I would just have to tell you a lot more for you to understand why I'm doing something or to understand what's the next move. But guess what? If I am going to do something, I'm going to give you more information than not. That's not a bad thing. That just makes you even more prepared to know what I'm going to do next. Same thing with the algorithm. But then, like you said, once the algorithm serves your video, makes it a suggested video to that audience that like that business Costco one, where I'm holding up the Kiko model.
Both your core audience and the bigger audience that it reached.
Yeah. Now they watch it, then it confirms the algorithms thought like, oh, this would be a banger, this would do well. And then it's just like this loop, okay?
And then you get this, basically, just a completely linear,
and
grows and grows and
this is what's kind of, the reason this video is significant, never in a million years did I think this would do better than the business Costco one. I thought the Kikomon bucket, my Asian American audience, and the fact that it was a business Costco. So it was like, you want to take that concept of taking a Costco video and flipping it upside down and going to a business. I was like, that was the thing. That was the thing.
No, I remember you talking about that.
So there's one more layer to it too. And this is why the thumbnail is a big deal. I believe the algorithm, I think their AI knew that this thumbnail was like similar, the same as the other one. I know that they're able to do it because with A/B testing, they're looking all this stuff. They're thinking about this. So it was not just one thing, it was many things working together. And it wasn't just the algorithm knowing this is relevant for my audience and reflecting back on past performance, but also once they served it up and then it was confirmed by people clicking through and then the audience retention, then it's like, let's keep pushing it out. And then guess what? This is why a video that gets lots of views is good for the algorithm. Then it starts understanding who else should I serve it to. This is why when videos hit the algorithm, as we say, like catching the wave of the algorithm, is really powerful because this is what makes YouTube very unique. It just keeps going to whoever it's relevant for.
It's like the more success you have, the more success you can have because there's more hooks in the ocean.
This is why it's important when you're doing a video to always think, don't expect that this video is only going to go to who knows you. So don't introduce yourself. Don't maybe even like have some kind of conversation around what you do. I didn't do that necessarily, right? But I don't assume you've ever seen anything of mine. So I kind of go into these grocery store videos or cooking videos as if the person watching me has never met
With
me.
the mindset that you're going to go viral, basically.
Yes, actually, yes.
No expectation, but the mindset that it could go viral at any moment.
That's been my goal literally the whole year. Look at this. Somebody in the Pacific Northwest went to a US chef store, restaurant supply, and they did a walking tour, got 893 views. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Today I'm gonna go to probably the one competitor of business Costco where you can get pretty good, if not better deals than Costco. US Foods Chefs.
Okay, I'm curious there. We're 10 seconds in and you've already framed the video, right?
Yes.
So you actually already framed it going in with the idea that you're comparing it to Costco.
Yeah.
And so how did you know to do that going? Because like some people when they're vlogging, right, they go and they'll just kind of do it and they'll sort of title everything afterwards. And that's totally fine. There are ways that that works too. But I know with your vlog method that you always want to have a topic or takeaway. It kind of feels like you knew that going in.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, one thing that not only I teach, but I practice is you want to be intentional about the vlog and then be intentional about who that vlog is for.
Okay, yeah.
So I already knew, I'm going to do a little bit of a contrast and comparison for the Costco lover.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the things that we love about Costco, what do you call it, wholesale, right? Bigger volume, better prices. You're going to get here, but you don't have to have the membership. It wasn't as busy. And guess what? In a lot of ways, it's a lot better. Similar to business Costco, because business Costco is all about catering to the business owner and restaurants. So they have a more expanded culinary selection, both on the food side as well as the kitchen side.
So for your channel, because you're about cooking, home cooks, things like that, it's kind of like a Costco taking to the extreme for a cook. Actually.
For a cook.
Yeah, which is super smart. I never thought about that.
When I went to business Costco, which I had never been to, I was just so surprised and shocked by how good it is for the home chef. I thought, those chef stores are also, I should go there because I was like, that is exactly what I'm like experiencing right now, but it's another option. Frankly, there's a third reason too I went there. It just was different from Costco.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, no, let me just do
You don't necessarily want to
different.
be the Costco guy because that's not what your channel's about.
Well,
It's about
I
food
wouldn't
and
say it
cooking.
was because of my motivation not to be the Costco guy, because I actually do a lot of Costco, more Costco than ever, and I'm not opposed to it if people want to watch it, but it was honestly just, hey, I wanted to do something different, and also, I was actually thinking about one thing that I thought would be serving a niche audience. People that want to go to Costco, but they don't want to pay for the membership because there were comments. Like, I've seen comments. See, that's another thing too. It was a small little thing that became a big thing. I've seen comments saying, I just can't justify $60 a year even.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't go enough. So, especially for the person that doesn't have a family and doesn't have the need to buy it in bulk, but they still want to get that business Costco experience, US Chef Store. So, guess what? When I was driving up there, I'm already thinking, because again, this is what I teach, and I have to practice what I preach. I'm thinking, okay, who is this video for?
Exactly.
How's it going to serve them? What's my intention? And be intentional about everything. Because in a vlog, for it to really hit right, if you're going through the best practices, you got to get that first 5 to 30 seconds right.
Yeah.
So I almost kind of scripted. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy how like much that shows in this, and I can already see like you've set the stage. I know exactly how this video is going to play out now. And as someone who's never seen it before, I'm curious and interested.
Already know what the title generally will be.
Yes.
Not always, but oftentimes the title I'm thinking about when I'm walking into a store or really about to cook a recipe is the title we use. The thumbnail sometimes is the thumbnail I'm thinking.
Yes.
But in this case, it just happened to be this funny. They had the Kikkoman 5-gallon bucket in this shit.
Wait, really?
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I don't want to do that because that might be
confusing.
Might be confusing.
Yeah.
But when I saw that 5-gallon bucket or the 35-gallon bucket of 35-pound bucket of peanut butter, I thought that's the one.
Yes.
And it was because I remember thinking that thumbnail was different from all my other Costco thumbnails, and that's one of the reasons I worked. I'm gonna just try it out here. It's like, hey, worst case scenario, it's another vlog episode.
Exactly.
It's interesting for my core audience, and anybody that can't afford to go to Costco or doesn't want to get the membership can watch this and have another option. Really simple and kind of innocent motivation and kind of intention. But of course, the success of it, it goes to show when you go through the best practices and you are uploading to YouTube, you never know who it's going to serve.
That makes sense.
This is the second one I've ever been into, and it's huge. First thing I like to get here is a peanut oil. Right here, Luana. The reason I like it is because if you look on the ingredients, it's literally just peanut oil. So what we just saw is building on that intro. I talked about how the first 5 to 30 seconds has to be on point. Well, then your next goal is the next 30 to 120 seconds or 2 minutes. Also has to be strong. So it's like you're building on the different layers. Because say like it got real dry and boring, or it wasn't informative, then you're like, not for me.
Well, we've talked about the 3 types of viewers on this channel. Quick, classic, and couch, right? And you almost, as a long form creator, you almost have to earn those in order. Like the first 10 to 30 seconds is earning the quick viewer, which, you know, they're looking at a 25-minute video here and they might have not clicked on it, but those who are, you still have to earn their attention. The classic is aiming in that 2 to 5 minute range, which is what you're talking about.
But you're kind of even, I'd say, you're even kind of skipping that whole classic viewer. Now you're getting into the curious, and you're trying to get into the obsessed. And
so you're kind of getting a little more detail.
I'm making them more curious.
And so what about this made you cater to them?
So let's actually rewind. Because like it's interesting that's 52 seconds. By the way, I wasn't tracking that. I'm just doing it. But it's funny how this is how not just I recorded it, but my editor edited it, right? So
that instinct.
Let's start at 30 seconds.
And restaurants shop at. My friend Matt was the one that told
So what started a little bit earlier?
Cash and carry. That was what it was known for. I don't know if they got bought out, but this is where a lot of small businesses and restaurants shop at. My friend Matt was the one that told me about it, so this is why I'm checking this one out because it's bigger than the one I went to last time. I didn't vlog about it, but
so I say that phrase of this is where a lot of small businesses or restaurants shop at.
Exactly.
Again, one thing I know, being the home cook, we have almost kind of this imposter syndrome, especially if you become a home cook that becomes a creator. But any home cook, I don't think they're ever going to think complete imposter syndrome compared to chefs at a restaurant. But inherently, we just know when you work 8 to 10 hours, 5 times a week, you're just never going to be as good as them.
No, totally.
But we want to know from them. We want to learn from them. Also, in the case of my viewers, we want to shop where they shop.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of why I'm saying that. I'm doing now. So I don't know. I probably make more comments, but again, I'm stacking on that first. Like this is better than a Costco, but also at the same time, I'm highlighting the thing that makes business Costco. You know, this is where like I didn't even know the direct correlation I was going to create, especially with that thumbnail, that would be a perfect next watch after the business Costco one. It's like watch the business Costco one and then you watch this one. It's like, okay, cool. By the way, I just realized too, this is the second time I've done this.
I didn't know that.
This is the second time I did this. It wasn't the first time I did it, okay? This is the second time I did it. So even though I said, oh, it was fresh eyes and kind of new experience, actually it's not. This is the expanded store. And the one thing I did do on this day, I was like, I'm gonna give myself a lot of time. I'm not gonna have an errand to run afterwards. I'm not gonna have to pick up the kids. So now that I'm watching this, I'm definitely way more relaxed. And I can see even my eyes, I'm like, I'm excited to explore this because it's twice the size of the other one.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to get something here. And I thought, why not? First is one of my favorite oils to
By the way, by this time though, we're at 1 minute and 12 seconds, and I'm showing the peanut oil. Then I'm just doing my normal thing.
Exactly.
I'm going to the things that I want to buy or I think is interesting. I'm either talking about why I'm buying it or why it's interesting. And in this case, the only reason I'm highlighting the peanut oil first, maybe it's because I literally just stumbled on it first, but I know as a chef that wants to cook with peanut oil, it's not always easy to find peanut oil of this size.
Yeah.
But specifically with this peanut oil, it's 100% peanut oil.
Exactly.
And then I'm getting into my food geekiness.
Exactly.
Right? Where I'm obsessing, and as Chris would say, I'm starting to nerd out on the topic.
Exactly.
So now I'm hitting the flow. I'm not thinking strategically at all. I'm just going right into it. But everything I record, everything I highlight, everything I make comments on, it always relates to the theme of my channel and the core audience I'm trying to hit.
And not to mention the topic of the video, right? And so you kind of scope it down such that this right here, it's hitting, oh, this is better than Costco. And by the way, you already talked about how the reason it's better than Costco is because it's for these small businesses that are doing this cooking and things like that.
By the
that
way,
makes sense.
want to hear something kind of crazy?
I
I
do.
just saw it today. You can't find peanut oil even at our business Costco, and you can't find peanut oil at a regular Costco. So again, without even really knowing it, I'm showing people that love shopping at Costco, people that love cooking, something you can't find there. So guess what? It's serving the expectation of the title, better than Costco.
Exactly.
So for a chef that likes to deep fry with peanut oil, which is great for deep frying,
Yes.
people don't use it because of allergies, it's serving this like weird need. So you're watching it, guess what? Now that I'm reflecting back on this, I'm like, I've always wanted to cook with peanut oil, but they never have it at Costco.
And now you know where to go.
Yeah, but side note, I went to Business Costco the other day. They had it, and guess what? They had it because people deep fried their turkeys. It was right next to stuffing. But it was interesting. I was like, man, all these times I've gone to Business Costco, and all the times I've ever gone to regular Costco, you never see peanut oil. So already, again, unintentionally, this first product I highlight for the person that loves Costco and is into cooking, this is kind of already a good takeaway.
Exactly.
You might just watch at this point like, oh, I'm totally going to one of these because I always want peanut oil. And if you're a health nut like me, it's pure.
Exactly.
So you're already thinking, okay, like I did the first layer of the hook.
Yeah.
The second layer is kind of make them curious. Now you're starting to become obsessed. Now you're like, I've earned your view.
Exactly. I love this because what it shows, right, is that even though it was intentional, the preparation kind of led you to this point without knowing what you were going to do going in, without having that hook and getting them to a minute 12 here. This would have never happened. No. But even though it's unintentional, this is the beauty of vlogging, right? Is that you kind of get those reps in and you instinctually go to this thing that caught your eye, that you're nerding out because of it, and it caught your attention. And so then now you're in the flow. We got 24 minutes of this and it's just going to be complete flow from this point. Just to close out, I just want to go back to the graph that got me interested in this video for you, Benji. It's like, that is crazy to me that a vlog can do this.
Yes, this is literally the line that shows you the power of YouTube. What you guys don't see is the average of most of my videos, which is not even showing up on the radar. Because this right here is telling me this could potentially get 500,000 views and maybe 1 million views, and it was very little work.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to discount all the work I did before.
Exactly.
To get ready for this moment to be able to do it. But when I think about this, I mean, it's just crazy. By the way, there's examples of this on YouTube more and more every single day.
Yes.
And I always feel for, in fact, Joshua Wiseman is a good example. Okay, I'll just kind of close out with this. Joshua Wiseman did a video where he does every kind of egg dish or whatever, and it's highly produced. You can tell he has a whole team, lots of editing, lots of shooting, just a lot going on. Even the thumbnail, it's probably done in a studio, it's a photo shoot, and then a lot of AI work just to make it perfect. Then you got this dude, got a GoPro on his forehead. I'm not even talking about Kenji Lopez, just
really?
some other random like chef, and he shows you how to make the perfect omelet. I watched the whole video, and then literally he goes for 20 minutes or whatever, and that has as many views as Joshua Weissman's video. It was a very vlog feeling video, but the point I'm trying to make, that took the guy probably 20 minutes to record, probably 20 minutes to edit. I'm telling you, the Joshua Weissman video, hours upon, probably days of work, same amount of views for a similar interest. Now, Joshua Weissman is still the winner because he's doing that regularly, and when his videos go up, they are all almost always getting 1 million views. But this other guy got the same amount of views with such a minimal amount of work. But the biggest takeaway is there's an audience that wants the vlog style video of the omelet versus the biggest food creator right now doing the egg video in a produced manner.
Yeah.
And this right here is proving it even with my audience too. This was, you know, probably like a 40 to 50 minute trip. Picked up some groceries, but I was able to vlog it in a way that I knew if I was watching or somebody else that was into food was watching, they would appreciate it too. But never did I think it would get 230,000 views.
And it's still ticking up is the crazy thing, right? And I think that
evergreen.
It's potentially going to go evergreen depending on. I mean, we should. I would love to dig even more, but this video is long enough. Here's what is wild about this to me. Is that it hits on the thing that we always talk about with vlogging with YouTube in general. This wouldn't happen if you wouldn't have just started and you weren't willing to take risks on your channel, right? This was an evolution of an idea that you happened to stumble on because you were in a Costco and you wanted to vlog your Costco trip that then turned into a business Costco that then turned into this. And so, I don't know. I want to close with a call to action here.
Yeah, yeah.
So, if somebody wants to start vlogging and using your method here, what should they do?
Well, first off, if you are into watching vlogs and you're starting to think, I want to vlog, or maybe you're a creator that wants to do longer form content, vlogs are perfect for that, especially if you have established audience, but even for the newbie. So if you are interested in vlogging, I have a vlogging checklist that you can click down below to get all of the information you need to be able to create a vlog that's going to get views. If you've never vlogged before, it's just a checklist I use. The checklist that I used when I recorded this video to prep myself to know what to capture, to say, and then of course what to upload. The link is down below in the description.